it's with absolute pleasure. I'm rejoined by the wonderful Himalayas. How you doing, gents?
Yeah, very well. Thanks, so.
Good. It's been a while since I last saw you. Lots been happening since. So, how has 2024 been treating you so far?
Yeah, it's been good so far, right?
Been nice, yeah. Been busy. Been back in the studio. Released a single a few months ago. There's another one on the way this weekend. So we're feeling really productive and just getting back out on tour, getting on the roads and doing our thing again. It's been great.
So when you are on the road, because like a year ago or a little bit longer when we last saw you, you were like really like pushing yourselves, and like this year, how has it felt that you've upped your game even more?
I think just time, really.
Yeah.
I think, just spending a huge amount of time doing what we enjoy doing, and I think just trying not to take ourselves too seriously. I think with music that's coming out, we're just trying to enjoy ourselves and trying to make the live show feel as good as possible, and trying to perfect our craft, I guess. Like just making. We've watched a lot of bands obviously over the years, and we just like try to steal as much as we can. But yeah, I just think like generally, the live show's just gotten better. The music's more intricate, like more difficult, more challenging. We're trying to push ourselves again and again and again. And I don't think we'll ever get to a point where we're not going to try and push ourselves a little bit further. But yeah, we're a little bit further on down than where we were last time we had the interview.
What do you think is the key to being active as a band?
Having management who are good with cracking the whip.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think it is finding the motivation.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time I find that just doing things motivates you more. It sounds really stupid, but I think once you've done a couple of gigs, you want to do more. Once you spend some time in the studio, you want to do more. So it's just kind of reminding yourself how good that is when you're doing it, and just kind of always chasing that, always giving yourself as much opportunity as possible to keep doing it.
So when you are in the studio, what's the frame of mind you go into it with?
Just openness, I think. I think openness is probably like the big one, I think, because myself and Mike, the writers of the band, so like we come in with the main ideas, and sometimes we've played them with the band before, but like quite a lot, especially on the last time we were in the studio, we hadn't, so it's brand new to everyone except myself and Mike. So I think openness, we all kind of ripped things apart and made things better by collectively coming out with a new, fresh perspective. But yeah, openness is probably the word.
Yeah, and you often find if somebody says that there's a problem with something or they're unhappy with something, they're probably right. Like if something's jumping out to someone, then you change it because that, if that's kind of the obvious thing. Even if it's kind of to your ear, it sounds okay. If it's jumping out to somebody else, then take that on board, and then it's an opportunity to try new things and find a different way. And a lot of the time when we've had those moments, might be a section of a song or, just one riff or melody or whatever, you give yourself the chance to try something new, and invariably the thing that comes out of it is always better than the thing you had before. So it's just having that willingness to not be too precious and to kind of let everything flow as it needs to.
Awesome. So, because like sometimes being in a studio setting non-stop can be quite intense. So how do you find that inner zen moment?
Zen's not the word I choose.
I think we all have like different things that we like to do. I think it's really difficult to, same as it being on tour, it's really difficult to get a moment away from each other. You're kind of like on top of each other no matter what. So I think finding a way of like having your own space or your own thing to do. Like Louis meditates and does yoga early on in the morning. Mike and James are the slightly later risers. So like myself and Louis kind of have, that's our time. That's our moment. Whereas I think for yourself and James, maybe it's the later night. So like those are like moments where you get your own time. But I think
we're all quite respectful of each other and knowing that everyone's got their own thing and you need to just kind of let each other get on with it. And that's the thing. It's like as long as you're not needed there in the moment, if you need to take 5 minutes yourself, we all kind of let that happen. Nobody's kind of too much on anyone else to be constantly doing something. So it's just kind of creating that environment where we know we can go off and do something if you feel like you need to get out of your own head for 10 minutes.
And so you've had so many like great moments just in this year, for example, supporting Take Back Sunday and upcoming other big thing. So when you do get those big opportunities for an emerging band such as yourself, how does it feel to have that recognition and given that opportunity?
Yeah, I think recognition is probably a good way of summing it up, really. I think it means you're doing something right.
Yeah.
I think, and I think justified the fact that we didn't get normal jobs. Even though, against like everyone else's perspective, like when our parents were disappointed that we didn't end up doing something like sensible, useful, meaningful.
What so say you were to do in an alternative universe, if you were doing the 9 to 5, what do you think you'd be doing?
So I did law in uni, so probably something to do with that. And
What's the
doing this.
what's the lowest paid job you could possibly have?
Don't know what we do now, I think, isn't it?
That's probably. Yeah, I probably. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do.
No, I suppose that's part of it, really.
Yeah.
It's like there are other options, but none of them particularly appealing. So
Yeah, I'm stumped.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah.
yeah, but as you were saying, like with the recognition, when you are playing these shows, so how, like, take us through, for example, when you got the call for TBS, how did that conversation go down?
Normally it just comes through, like our agent normally comes through and just says, "Say, do you want to play the show?" And I think we were like, yeah, so like, I think we're really quick to say yes to things that we really want to do. And I think being able to play to new people, play new shows, come back to cities like Newcastle that we've played before, we're really keen to do. And I think this time we're here as well is like a step on from the last time we were here. We noticed on this run, shows are selling out, and we're playing to more people than we were before. And I think it's for us is to build on from that. And I think the way we found it's best by doing that is like people seeing us play live.
yeah,
So we did the Taking Back Sunday show. It was like we were just trying to grow the fan base, so like grow people who were interested in our music.
we quite like playing to sort of supports lots of bands that are slightly different to what we do as well. There's some commonality, but it's not sort of too based in one for another. You don't want to kind of go to a gig and the support bands sound the same as the headliners. So we've quite liked the last couple of years just playing those sorts of shows where it's in front of an audience that would potentially like it. It's just you've got to get yourself in front of them to show them in the first place.
So how would you kind of like woo a bunch of Himalayas newbies?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think it's just seeing the live show more than anything. There's a lot of new music coming out soon as well, so I think there's kind of a lot to hold the attention, which is always something. But yeah, I just say come see the live show and sort of see that kind of experience and make your own mind off, I suppose.
Yeah.
Out of the newest or latest material, what are you proud about it the most?
I think it's just music that we would listen to. I think that's the thing. On the first album, it was like finding our feet. I think being like we had written some songs that from 2017, since like early days of the band. So I think we were trying to morph that fit into that album and that record. But I think, this is music we've got to listen to more so than anything. Our tastes have changed. We were really heavily like influenced by indie music or like things like Arctic Monkeys before. And I think now our flavor and taste has moved into rock more. So bands like Queens of the Stone Age are like way more heavy in terms of our influence now.
Did you find that was a natural flow? Was it kind of like, oh, we're a bit heavier now?
No, 100% naturally.
Yeah, it was a bit. Like over the years we've gradually kind of got heavier and we get a new pedal or come up with a new riff and it feels like it needs to be done a certain way. And yeah, it's just something that I think collectively we've all just sort of ended up doing, and then it got to a point where we were like, oh, okay, I think we're a rock band now. Let's lean into that. And I think a lot of the neo music that we've made recently is quite, there's a lot of twists and turns. It was quite interesting and bit more kind of musically complicated than a lot of our older stuff. So it's kind of exciting for us to play as much as anything else as well. But yeah, I think the heaviness thing is really the key element, where it's a case of, we still have our way of writing songs and what we're trying to communicate, but it's just our way of doing it. I've kind of found where we feel like where we should be.
So if you could kind of like describe what the Himalayas DNA is, what would that be?
I think there's, as I say, there is a heaviness to it, but Joe and I have always been quite keen to write sort of, I don't go so far as saying poppy melodies, but, it's songs that are catchy and that'll kind of stick with you for different reasons. Yeah. We like the kind of impact. We want the music to be, in your face and aggressive, and exciting. But yeah, it's, grooves have become something that's come in the last few years. A lot of our songs are a lot more based in, something you can nod your head to it's always like, you need that. If it's not doing that, then it's probably not going to end up as a Himalayas song. So there's all sorts of elements to it, and I think that's one of the strengths, is that we've all got a lot of different influences, and we're all quite keen to just try new things. But ultimately, I think, catchy melodies, heavy guitars and drum parts, and then grooves as well, just something that you can sort of get your hips into a bit.
Yeah, I think no matter how heavy we become, we'll always have a touch of girls in that.
Oh yeah.
Any particular song?
The Promise.
The Promise is an absolute banging awesome.
They're all good. You can't go wrong with it. Sound on the Underground.
Sound on the Underground.
Best rock song of all time.
As soon as you mentioned The Promise, though, I was like,
it's in my head now, and it's not going to leave all day.
Excellent. So, like, when you see, because obviously you've got a very loyal fan base, growing each time. So when you see people returning to shows, but also returning with friends, how does that feel for you as a band?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah, we picked up quite a lot of people sort of from support tours and stuff we did last year as well, who were now coming to see us headline shows, which is it's exactly what we were trying to do in the first place. And it's great having the engagement there and then at the time, but then seeing it a year on or whatever, and that we still got those people and they're still interested and still want to be a part of that is incredible.
Especially when we don't necessarily tour certain places as frequently as others.
Yeah.
The last time we played Newcastle was a huge while ago.
Yeah.
And even before this interview, we've seen people we already know from our shows. Wow. So like the fact that it's been a while, people are still coming back, and you kind of build like a relationship with those people is
yeah, it's just got some people who've been seeing us for years as well, before kind of a lot of things started kind of kicking off a bit. So it's just kind of seeing that build and grow. It, as I said earlier, it just kind of makes everything more worthwhile and sort of justifies it a bit.
As music printers, what's the furthest you've travelled to go and see a particular band?
Oh, to see a band?
Probably London, to me. Cardiff to London. We saw Foos in Manchester as well.
Yeah, I've done Manchester.
Manchester or London, really.
So it must feel like, as part of that, it must feel nice that people are travelling.
That's it, yeah. I mean, like, I think there were people that come from China for it.
Yeah, there were.
It's incredible.
There was, some people Asia at the Scotland show.
France as well.
Edinburgh show, but yeah, like Europe. Because we don't tour those places that often, but we've never toured Asia.
No.
We've never really toured the US. So, like, we've had a few people, like, travelling to see us because obviously we play in the UK more frequently. So, yeah, it's
bigger than Taylor Swift.
We'll see.
No one's bigger than Taylor Swift.
Don't tell her that. But we don't want to be leader of any beef.
Yeah.
But it's always great to see your growth. And as the four of you, what is it that you enjoy about your friendship?
I enjoy moments like these when it's just the two of us.
Yeah, we sort of find the other two out here. And, you know, we could just talk like grown-ups for a little bit.
It's wonderful.
I'm the babysitting, change nappies and all that. It's great.
No, but in all seriousness, though, I think my favourite moments are when we all annoy each other, and the moment after when everyone's okay.
Yeah.
That's the best bit.
Yeah, we can try to say anything we like to each other, and you know it's going to be all right. So there's something quite nice about that. I mean, some of the stuff that you know you just wouldn't say to other people, and it's fine.
I think it's the moment after, because you know everyone's like treading lightly, so it's that moment you know nothing bad's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Everyone's taking a break from being
yeah.
horrible.
No one's been punched. No one's broken anything. Okay, that was fine. I'll try a bit harder next time.
So for you, what's the next part of the dream?
I think
Keeping up. No,
I think it'd be nice to next time we tour, bigger venues and see a lot of the same people. As you say, it's it'd be nice if everyone that came on this tour came to the next one and brought people with them and pick up a few more people in the meantime. Play bigger shows. We as I said earlier, we love support slots. We love playing with kind of artists and getting to sort of play in front of new audiences and do something that isn't expected, because everyone's been to plenty of gigs where you see the support act and it might be okay, but it's when you have those ones where they really wow you and you actually go back and sort of check them out again. I think that's something that we've been quite good at for the last few years. So bigger support shows, but just onwards and upwards, and we've got new music coming soon, so it's really exciting to get that.
Brilliant. Well, as always, pleasure to see you guys. So to the fans who've supported you since whatever part of the journey, whether it's day one or day 1001, what would you like to say?
What are you doing now?
maybe go into seek professional help. I don't know.
No, it honestly means the world. I think this tour that we're doing now and just all the support we've had recently, it's years and years of work kind of paying dividends now. We're actually seeing the fruits of that, and it just honestly means so much. It's you can't really articulate it when you're actually sort of in that moment looking out at people singing your songs and really enjoying it because of what you're doing. It's incredible.
I think it's not even just people who are coming to the shows. I think people who have just listened to our music generally. It's some of the opportunities we've been able to have. We've toured Europe, we've played American shows. We're supporting Foo Fighters next week. A week today.
Wednesday.
Is it? No. Is it Wednesday?
Is it?
Oh, that was today.
It was Wednesday.
A week yesterday.
Yeah.
6 days of it.
Joe's going to play it on Wednesday for the rest of the year.
No, so I think it's just those moments that have been made by them, whether they know it or not. I think the fact that people listen to our music and take it in, our hard work and effort only goes so far, and the hard work and effort of people who've worked with us and for us is exceptionally great. But people who listen at home and come to the shows, it wouldn't happen without them. So
ultimately, this only works because other people are into it. So so I still going. Just about.
Fantastic. Well, I wish you all the best, and hopefully see you in Newcastle next time.
Definitely.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Thank you very much.
That's it.